The reasons for upgrading your bike are going to be to enjoy your cycling more, get better performance from the products you've already got, upgrade your bike as parts wear out, or just customization. Today we're going to look at the best value places where you can spend money to improve the ride of your bike. Tyres, wheels, handlebars, stems, brakes, drivetrain and dropper seat posts. Tyres can make a great improvement to the ride quality of a bike, providing more grip, more speed, more control. High quality can definitely and dramatically improve the ride. Tread patterns can vary for larger knobbles for softer mud and conditions, and smoother semi-slick tyres with much less tread pattern on it for hard pack and tarmac conditions. Casing, the sidewalls of the tyre can be more supple with a higher thread count, which can provide a more pliable tyre for grip, and tougher, thicker casing such as dual ply tyres can be applied to downhill and higher impact conditions. The sidewall casing on a downhill tyre is significantly thicker with a much lower thread count, the intention being to prevent cuts and tears in the sidewall casing. The rubber compound of the tread blocks can vary dramatically. Can be as low as 42 or 45A in Durometer, which is a very sticky, soft rubber compound, versus a more durable but not as grippy tyre made of 60 or 65A compound, which will provide greater durability, longevity, but will not stick and follow the terrain and the track as closely. Higher volume in tyres can reduce rolling resistance and improve grip, as you can run a lower pressure without pinch puncturing, where the inner tube is pinched between the tyre and the rim. This can also be avoided by using a tubeless specific tyre with a compatible wheel set. The bead can be a wire bead, giving the tyre structure and holding it on the rim. A folding tyre, which features either a Kevlar or aramid bead, enables the tyre to be folded and produces a lighter weight tyre. It's important to check when buying any tyres that they're compatible, that the width is suitable and has sufficient clearance within your frame, and that if you require tubeless tyres, that they are also compatible for this purpose. Handlebar upgrades are common for either changing the width or the rise of the handlebar. The reasons for using a wider or higher bar can mean more control, stability at speed, adjusting the body position, steering stiffness or lower weight. For example, here we have an aluminium wide bar and also a carbon wide bar, which introduces greater stiffness, strength and compliance, which will help absorb some of the bumps and impacts. You may choose to upgrade your stem, either electing for a lighter weight option using improved materials, which is going to create a stiffer, stronger steering response, or adjusting the length either to increase or shorten the stem, which will improve handling, especially incorporated with a wider bar. Upgrades can quite often be really to reduce weight from the front end of the bike, change handling, or improve strength in this area. Disc brakes offer considerable benefits over more common V-brakes: more power, no rim wear, mud clearance and extended pad life. Hydraulic disc brakes such as these also offer a smoother operation, even more power and less maintenance. If you have basic hydraulic disc brake, you'll find most of the options and benefits already there. However, by upgrading these, you can find greater adjustment, lower weight and even more power. The adjustment that's available, for example, bite point adjustment and reach adjustment, enable the rider to control at which position the pads make contact with the disc, controlling how fast or slow braking performance is achieved, and by using the reach control can adjust at which stage on the lever the default position is. This means that if you prefer the lever closer to the bar or further away from the bar, you can control where that default position is. Another feature you'll find is steel braided hoses, which provide a stiffer hose structure and more power. Some disc brakes will have additional cooling methods, such as cooling fins on the brake pads to ensure consistent and reliable braking. Good drivetrain is essential to good performance on the bike, but choosing a middle level group set can deliver solid, reliable shifting performance at a fraction of the cost of the higher end group sets. What's the benefit of upgrading to the higher level componentry? Features you'll get will be a lighter weight, more expensive and advanced materials, greater stiffness, reliability and consistency in braking and shifting performance. For example, bottom brackets we have here in the video feature lightweight materials, more expensive sealed, ceramic and various other ball bearing types, which are more expensive to produce, absorbing less energy and enabling more of the power to go to driving the bike forwards. Cranksets and chain sets will feature stiffer arms, enabling greater performance as far as pedalling, greater control of the bike and better feedback from the terrain. Chainring, tooth designs can be more expensive, involving more machining to get better shifting performance, different materials to get better stiffness and lightweight. Front mechs or derailleurs will be lighter, made from more expensive materials, but overall performance remains similar. Rear mechanisms, generally speaking, lighter, smoother and faster shifting performance, but overall the variances can be smaller. Rear cassettes is a very good opportunity to upgrade on the bike and save weight, as quite often what you'll find spec'd on a brand new bike will be a cheaper level cassette, and therefore upgrading to a lighter cassette will instantly shave weight off the overall bike. Shifting performance and mud clearance can be improved by using better tooth design and more holes within the block to allow mud to pass through. Chains can be produced from higher grade materials to enable them to be longer lasting, rust free and potentially lighter. Finally, potentially the largest increase for upgrading the drivetrain will be the shifters. This part that sits on the handlebar will perhaps produce the most noticeable difference, as it's a part that you contact to shift gears but also controls at what speed and where the mechanisms move to. Upgrading the mechs or derailleurs without upgrading the shifters will often mean that you'll shave weight off the bike, but the shifting performance, even though it may be marginally crisper, will feel very similar as you're still feeling the same shifter. By changing this part, you're upgrading the overall feel of the bike and how the shifting performance will respond. Dropper seat posts are becoming a very common upgrade choice. They enable the rider to move the saddle out of the way when approaching steep and technical terrain and raising the saddle to an appropriate pedal efficiency height when climbing or pedaling through flat sections. Upgrading parts can be great fun. You can get performance benefits, more fun out of the bike, and as parts wear out, it's a good time to change components. As we've seen, some of the components can be changed for little to no cost, whereas others can be considerably more expensive. It's best to choose wisely on what you're upgrading, and obviously keep some money in budget and in mind for parts as and when they wear out.